Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful day to dive into the absolute madness of Port Charles, so grab your coffee, settle in, and let's get into it. The surface of the Quartermain Lake shatters, the dark water swallowing a man who has been a silent prisoner in his own body, instantly shifting the entire power dynamic of Port Charles and forcing everyone into impossible life or death choices. Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and the whole situation with Drew Kane is just blowing my mind right now. Basically, Nina Reeves just shoved him into the lake, just rolled his wheelchair right off the edge into the dark water. And I'm sitting here analyzing her facial expressions because, wait, actually no. First I should mention how we even got to this point. Because you can't just talk about the lake without talking about the paralytic. It's impossible. You have to look at the whole picture, the entire tapestry of lies Willow has woven, to even begin to understand why Nina felt shoving a wheelchair-bound man into a body of water was her only logical option. It's wild. Okay, wait, let me back up. Willow Kane Congresswoman Kane, if we're being official, has been keeping her own husband, Drew, in a medically induced locked-in state for months. Months. She was getting this paralytic drug from Jen Sidwell. But now Sidwell is in jail awaiting trial, which means Willow's supply is completely cut off. The drug is wearing off. Drew is waking up. It's weird. Really weird. The whole thing is just weird. You don't just keep a grown man paralyzed in a wheelchair and expect zero consequences when the meds run dry. So Drew has been trapped in his own body, just sitting there, watching, waiting, unable to speak or move, but fully aware. Imagine the psychological horror of that. He's been parked at Alexis Davis's house, forced to watch his daughter Scout interact with all the people he absolutely loathes. Because while he was paralyzed, Willow went ahead and dropped all the restraining orders against Scout's extended family. The Quartermains, Danny, all of them. Drew had to just sit there and watch it happen, completely powerless to stop it. Anyway, the point is... Wait, what was the point? Oh, right, Drew's mobility. Because the paralytic is wearing off, Drew is starting to twitch. He's regaining his speech. We literally saw him croak out Willow's name with pure venom, And Nina, being Nina, panicked. She realized Drew was becoming a massive threat to Willow's freedom and her political. So in a moment of sheer, unhinged panic at the boathouse, she shoves him into the water. She actually did it. But then again, that doesn't explain why she immediately started screaming for help. I mean, if you're going to eliminate a threat, why scream? Okay, I know I just said the opposite, but hear me out. I think Nina instantly regretted it. She's not a cold-blooded killer. She's just highly reactive. She shoved him, saw him sinking, and her brain finally caught up with her hands. Probably doesn't matter, but I noticed the way she looked at the water, it was pure terror, not malice. She was terrified of what she just did. Or maybe not. I don't know. Enter Giovanni Palmieri. Gio is literally a trained summer lifeguard. He's at the Quartermain property. Brooklyn suggests he go for a swim. And boom, he hears Nina screaming her head off. Gio dives in. He's poised to pull his Uncle Drew out of the lake. And this is where the momentum completely shifts. Because Drew isn't just going to survive this, he's going to survive it with his mobility returning. The water, the adrenaline, the shock to his system, the lack of the paralytic drug. It's the perfect storm for Drew to finally snap out of his locked-in state. But what happens when Drew gets out of that lake? He's going to be furious. Beyond furious. He's going to be prepared to execute a revenge scheme that surpasses anything Port Charles has ever witnessed. But who is his primary target? You'd think it would be Willow, right? She's the one who drugged him. She's the one who kept him paralyzed. I mean, not exactly, but kind of? She orchestrated the whole thing, even if Sidwell supplied the juice. Wait, let's talk about the black box first. Because this is the absolute wild card in all. Valentine Cassadine just waltzed into Jack Brennan's WSB office with a black brief. Inside that briefcase is the black box containing the crucial blackmail information. Valentine wants his frozen WSB assets unfrozen. Brennan desperately wants the box back. They strike a deal. This means Brennan now holds the ultimate leverage over Drew Kane. Willow is banking on this blackmail to keep Drew silent. She's desperate. She's literally in her office right now, crying and begging Harrison Chase to lie for her at the PCPD so she can dodge questioning about the Sidwell case and escape on the plane Brennan promised her. But will the blackmail be enough? If Drew's desire for revenge is strong enough, he might not care about the financial dirt Brennan has on him. Or maybe he will. I keep going back and forth on this because Drew is so unpredictable. Actually, what if Drew shifts his focus? Willow is the obvious target, but Drew is a master of collateral damage. Remember when he got shot? I think it was episode 12? Or 13? Somewhere around there. Anyway, he blamed Michael Corinthos for the shooting. He had zero evidence. Michael didn't even pull the trigger. But Drew was fully prepared to inform the police and send his own nephew to prison, just out of pure spite and vindictiveness. So if Drew is willing to fabricate accusations against Michael, who, by the way, is long divorced from Willow and happily dating Jacinda now, who else is he willing to destroy? Drew cannot technically prove that Nina pushed him into the lake. It's his word against hers, and Gio only saw the aftermath. But Drew knows the truth. Will he go after Nina? Will he hold her responsible and completely destroy her life while keeping Willow in his back pocket for later? And what about those restraining orders? Drew hates the quartermain. He hates Danny. He hates Tracy. He's been forced to watch Scout bond with them while he was paralyzed. The second he can walk and talk, you just know he's going to reinstate those restraining orders. He's going to use Scout as a weapon to punish everyone who ignored him or benefited from his locked-in state. It's so twisted, but it makes perfect sense for his character right now. Let's backtrack to Jen Sidwell first. Sidwell's trial is coming up. This is a massive problem for Willow. She used his paralytic doses. She participated in his fake stroke plan. If Drew decides to talk, Willow's entire life crumbles into dust. Congresswoman Kane goes to prison. Michael Corinthos easily swoops in and wins full custody of Wiley and Amelia. Willow loses absolutely everything she has built. But how does Drew play this? Does he just start screaming the truth the second Gio pulls him out of the water? No, wait. That's too messy. Drew is vindictive, but he's also highly strategic. What if he fakes compliance? What if he pretends the lake incident caused a medical setback? Or pretends that Brennan's blackmail is actually working, while secretly negotiating an immunity deal behind Willow's back? Like, think about it. Drew is a former Navy SEAL. He knows how to operate under pressure. He knows how to play the long game. If he wakes up and realizes Brennan has this black box, he's not going to just fold. He's going to nod, pretend he's beaten, and then immediately call the DA or the feds. He's going to secure his own safety while setting the ultimate trap for his wife. Ezra Boyle turned on Sidwell. Why couldn't Drew do the exact same thing? Drew could become the star witness at Sidwell's trial. It would be the absolute perfect opportunity to drop the bomb. Imagine the courtroom drama. Drew takes the stand, supposedly to testify about Sidwell, and instead just unleashes every single dirty secret about Willow drugging him. It would be cinematic. It would completely blindside Willow and leave her with zero defense. But then again, that doesn't explain why Brennan is so confident. Brennan thinks he can handle Drew. Brennan thinks this black box is the holy grail of leverage. But Drew's financial troubles, whatever dirt is actually in that box, seem so trivial compared to the literal criminal activities Willow has been involved in. Drug trafficking, kidnapping, paralyzing a sitting congresswoman's husband. It's insane. How does white-collar financial dirt compare to that? I just can't stop thinking about the psychology of Drew's locked-in state. The sheer frustration, the boiling rage. He's been simmering for months. Every time Alexis looked at him with pity, every time Tracy made a snide comment, every time Danny played with Scout, Drew was logging it. He was keeping score in his head. And now the dam is beaking. The water from that lake is literally washing away the last of the paralysis. Imagine being trapped inside your own mind, screaming, while the people who did this to you smile and pretend everything is fine. It's a level of violation that goes beyond just physical. It's a complete erasure of his autonomy. So when he finally gets it back, he's not going to use it to heal. He's going to use it to destroy. Every single person who was complicit, even tangentially, is going to feel his wrath. It's going to be a bloodbath. Not literally. Well, maybe literally. This is Port Charles after all. But a social and legal bloodbath. Willow thinks she's backed into a corner right now with Chase at the PCPD. She has no idea. She doesn't even know about the lake tumble yet. When she gets that phone call, her heart is going to drop into her stomach. She's going to realize that Brennan's plane isn't going to save her from a husband who can finally walk. And what about Gio? Poor Gio. He's just a kid trying to be a hero. He pulls Drew out of the water, thinking he's saving a life, completely unaware that he's unleashing a monster back into. Gio's rescue is the catalyst for the destruction of the Kane family. It's tragic, honestly. Like, basically, Gio is handing Drew the keys to the Kingdom of Revenge. There are people in Port Charles who are going to dearly wish Gio had just stayed on the line. So, where does this leave us? Valentine has his assets unfrozen. Brandon has the black box and thinks he's in control. Nina is hyperventilating on the docks, sending out an SOS. Willow is crying in her office, trying to manipulate a cop. And Drew Kane is coughing up lake water, feeling his fingers twitch, feeling his vocal cords loosen, and plotting the absolute ruin of everyone who put him in that chair. It's weird. Like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird. But I am so here for it. Will Drew's thirst for vengeance ultimately destroy him? Or will Willow manage to escape justice one last time? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and let's figure this out together.